So let's get started with Pro Round 1. Rob Fisher, the Rain Man, Tower Side, out of the drag racing capital of the world, Humboldt, Illinois. Driving the $1 million Malibu. He's dialed in at an 830. His competition with a 606 there on the side. The big number 1. National champion last year in motorcycle. That is Chad Isley from Charleston, Illinois. He's dialed a 606. He'll be chasing down Old Brown. Chad goes 499 red. Fisher with the automatic win. Rob Fisher 824. 6 under on his 830 at 81 for Chad Isley 602 on the 606. Coming up now in the Hopper Auto and Family Racing Lane, left side of the track, this is Norman Heffler from Vermont, Illinois. 1994 Mustang. Dialed in at a 745. He'll give up half a bulb head start to Harold Wright. Right over there pit side from Ashmore, Illinois. 87 S10 pickup truck. He's in the Cedar City Motors lane. Both of them clean and green as they head down track. Ford Chevy matchup. It is the Chevy for the win. Harold Wright with a 787-1 on his 787. Heffler breaks out by a 10th, 734 on his 745 at 93. Kelly Dom coming up now. Young lady over here in the Tower lane. She's trying to go 662. She's from Dietrich, Illinois. Waits patiently on Bob Dillon, the 46 Ford over there. Pit side from Dalton City. He's going to try to go 749. Some big breakouts here today over here in the Tower lane already. Changing conditions.
Just a little pinprick. There'll be no more.
Red light for Bob Dillon. Kelly Dom will drive it out the back door. 660, 660 on the 662 dial for Kelly Dom. She breaks out. It doesn't matter. Red light start for Bob Dillon. He would have been safe by 750, but the red light gets him. Cassie Edwards Wilson coming up now. Charleston, Illinois, 835 the dial in. She gets the big head start, almost 2 full seconds head start over Wayne Parsons. Parsons in the little dragster out of Havana, Illinois, trying to go 647. So here comes Parsons trying to chase her down. Cassie down track. Wind light says it is Cassie Edwards Wilson for the win. 838 on the 835. Parsons takes the stripe but breaks out by 2. 2 quick, 645 on the 647 at 100. Here is Max Lang, Ralph Craig. Both of them from Charleston, Illinois. The Hall of Famer in the Purple Willys Coupe. Trying to go 649. His competition, Craig, will go wheels up on the Firebird. It's for sale. 663 is his dial in. At the stripe, it is Lang for the win. 651 on the 649. He had a 003 light. Ralph Craig won off 664 on the 663, but the old Hall of Famer strapped it on him at the starting line. Motorcycles lane 9. Motorcycles lane 9. Here's Randy Cox, Bingham, Illinois. 742 the dial in on the red Mustang Tower side. His competition, that is Rick Schaffner from Athens, Illinois. The high-flying 67 Pontiac Firebird. 610 the number over there. 742 for the Mustang. Here comes Schaffner charging hard. Got some room in the bank. He knows it. Schaffner for the win. 6:25 on his 6:10 at 97 miles an hour. Cox goes 7:53 on the 7:42. Cox was dead late in comparison to Schaffner's 0:14 light. Darrell Thompson and Eric Ziegler coming up now. Thompson from Pana, Illinois. It is a 70 GTO. The judge is trying to go 7:59. Eric Ziegler, the S10 with a 7:52 dial in. He's out of Clinton, Illinois. Off they go. Thompson found the tree big time. Can he hang on for the win? Yes, he does. 004 on the tree, 771 on the 7:59. Thompson, your winner. Ziegler goes 2 off 7:54 on the 7:52. That tells you right there how much better he was at the starting line. Jesse Brandt coming up alongside Kevin Heflin. Sportsman to the lanes, lanes 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sportsman to the lanes, please. Lanes 5, 6, 7, and 8 for round number 1. Jesse Brandt with a 784 dial in. He gets to go first. Kevin Heflin out of Bushnell. 640 the dial in there on the S10. Jesse Brandt down track. Here comes Heflin. Can he get the job done? Nope. Brandt holds him off. Heflin breaks out trying to catch him. He goes 3 under 637 on the 640 for Jesse Brandt. 785 on the 784 and 017 at the tree. Sam Zahn and Stuart Galloway coming up now. Zahn, Champaign, Illinois, 651 the dial in. Galloway from Milford, Illinois, in his Monte Carlo. Dialed in a 722. So if you do the math, that's about a bulb and a half head start for the Monte Carlo. So Galloway lines up out of the groove, just blows the tires off. Zahn takes advantage, 690 on his 651. He is your winner. Galloway cannot hook up, 826 at 88. Sportsman cars, once again, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sportsman, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Junior Dragsters, lane 9. Junior Dragsters, lane 9. Greg Brashear, Tyler Stein coming up now. Brashear from Lincoln, Illinois, in his 84 Mustang, the Fox body car with a 648 dial in, taking on Tyler Stein, 72 Nova from Springfield, trying to go 674. Red light for Stein means Brashear will be back for round number 2. $650 on the 648 for Greg Brashear. He is your winner. Red light start for Tyler Stein and a 669 at 102. Super Pro coming up now. This is Eric Cooper alongside Eric Rayburn. Cooper behind the handlebars of his 77 Kawasaki. He's trying to go 566. He'll be chasing down Eric Rayburn. Rayburn from Philo, Illinois, in the 70 Nova. Here comes Cooper. Rayburn 005 on the tree. 702 at the big end. He's your winner, Eric Rayburn. 702 at 96 for Eric Cooper. In a losing effort, goes dead on 566 at 119 on his 566 dial, but the better light by just enough to Eric Rayburn. Dragster matchup coming up now with Troy Salazar and Walt Edwards. Salazar from Shelbyville, Illinois. The Bad Dog Racing entry over here, Tower Side. Mild to Wild Custom Fab helping out on the car alongside Walt Edwards in the Cedar City Motor sponsored entry. Walt trying to go 560. Troy trying to go 554. Away they go. Big N says it is Salazar for the win. I didn't see the red light, but Walt red lighted. Salazar 555 on his 554 at 123. Red light start for Walt 562 at 121. Dale Short, Bob Paul coming up now. The Short Racing Vega alongside the King Rat. Bobby Paul with a 736 dial. There he goes. Here comes Dale Short trying to run a 551. Bobby red lighted it away. Dale Short for the automatic win. How about this? Dial 551 goes 551 with an O. Dead on with an O. Final call for Sportsman. Final call for Sportsman to the staging lanes. So Dale Short goes dead on. Bobby Paul red light start, one off 737 at 92. Here's Megan Jackson. Megan in the Dragster from West Terre Haute. It's a Mark Williams built chassis alongside the Dartzaster 2 Dodge Dart of Jim Falby. Falby trying to go 549. Jackson a 626. Final call for Sportsman. Final call for Sportsman. Apparently we're missing one. Final call for Sportsman. Falby yanks him out of the beams too quick. Red light start for Falby. Megan Jackson gets the win. 633 on the 626 for Megan Jackson at 107. She is your winner for Falby. Red light start 553 at 123. So bike number one over here, this is Chad Isley. Isley from Charleston, Illinois, 603 the dial-in. He'll be chasing down Mark Dunlap in that lemon yellow Malibu. Dunlap from Paris, Illinois, 650 the dial. An 016 to an 008 light. Isley takes the win on the double breakout. 602 with an 8 on the 603. Dunlap goes 649 with a 1 on the 650. So a 9 thou breakout gets beat by a 2 thou breakout. Chad Isley goes on to the next round. Good drag race there. Margin of victory, 1,000th of a second. Junior Dragsters, lane 9. Junior Dragsters, lane 9.
Tonight I'll take you on a moonlight ride.
In juniors, Eric Willenberg, you have the bye run. Eric Willenberg with the bye run in Junior Dragsters.
I used to say, but she don't give a damn for me.
As old Nickaroo would say, a classic confrontation. The full-bodied car alongside the open cockpit car. Todd Cap, Sherman, Illinois, 1970 Chevelle. 608 to dial in. Taking on Mark Hopper. Hopper from Mattoon. 516 the number there on the Dragster. Hopper with the better light. He'll be your winner. 516 with a 7 on the 516. 012 on the tree. Cap runs dead on as well. A 608 with a 9 on his 608. He had an 036 light. Good package, not good enough as Mark Hopper takes the win.
can you put in?
Round one of motorcycles starts out with Ken Walker and Richard Russell. Both of them up on Kawasaki's. The red Kawasaki, closest to me in the Hopper Auto and Family Racing lane, Richard Russell. He's trying to go 650. The Decatur runner takes on the Kansas, Illinois-based Ken Walker with a 633 dial.
I remember going to my first Illinois on their way through the line.
A touch better for Russell as they head down track. And Russell hangs on for the win, 656 on the 650 at 103. Kenny Walker goes 5 off 638 on the 633 at 100 miles per hour.
I wouldn't want to miss this for anything.
Your next pairing, this is going to be Eric Cooper. Cooper from Martinsville, Illinois. He's on a Kawasaki. He's in the Tower Lane. He's trying to go 566. Pit side, that's the Cedar City Motors lane, and that is Brian Davis from Whiteheath, Illinois.
An appointment.
Brian trying to go 574.
Carl, you can review
Slightly quicker Tower side
and more.
as they head down track.
.org/mycarl to sign up. Helps you be great.
Drive away today with no...
Davis on a wild ride as the back end washes out about mid-track. He breaks out by 4, 570 on the 574 at 113. Cooper is your winner, 567 at 117 for Eric Cooper.
They're more like surprise points because they're only good till May 14th. You can use points at Kmart or Sears towards your qualifying purchases.
We move right into Sportsman. Sportsman round one coming up. Here's Kyle Wright and Jerry Decker Jr.
Kmart and Sears surprise.
Kyle Wright, 996 the dial in for the White Mustang out of Ashmore, Illinois. His competition, pit side, that is the red Nova of Jerry Decker Jr. from Sullivan. He's trying to go 816. Here comes Decker. Kyle Wright down track.
The powerful Raider that combines incredible performance with custom style. The Striker with its...
I think they both slowed down at the big end. Kyle Wright with a 998 on the 996 at 68. He's your winner. Jerry Decker Jr., 828 on his 816 at 75.
Production bagger, the low and mean V-Star 950.
Tad Wolf and Jerry Decker coming up now. So that must be junior and senior.
Bolt.
Wolf from Clinton in his Camaro, Tower side. He thinks he's going to go 850. His competition in the 84 Camaro. He calls it Grandpa's Toy. That's Jerry Decker. 855 the dial in over there. Again, Clinton all out to lanes 3 and 4.
They build it. You make it your own.
At the finish line, it is Jerry Decker for the win. 855 with a 3. Dead on with a 3 at 79. Tad Wolf 5 off 855 on his 850 at 81 miles per hour.
By Sunday night, mostly cloudy, a low of 70, and into Monday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, a high of 85.
This is Renee Holly with Country Financial, and you're
Rob Fisher, the Rain Man, out of Humboldt, Illinois. 83 Malibu, 826 there on the window of Old Brown, taking on Robert Soper. Soper from Mattoon with a 918 dial in on his 94 S10 pickup truck. Don't forget, if you lost here in round one, you can buy back into round two. Go see Donna at the tech booth. At the finish line, it is Fisher for the win. The Rain Man takes the win, 838 on his 826. He had some room off the starting line. Soper took the stripe, broke out by 3, 915, 3 under on his 918. At 75, here's B.J. Obermeyer taking on Jack Leach. Obermeyer, 92 Mustang, 770 there on the window. He'll be chasing down Jack Leach. 804 the dial in there on the Nova out of Lincoln, Illinois. And the red eye gets him. Leach goes red. Obermeyer with the automatic win. Leach drives it out the back door to an 8:08 at 84. Obermeyer off pace 8:17 at 85 on his 7:70, but he is your winner. Red light for Jack Leach. Cassie Edwards-Wilson coming up now alongside Dan Good. Both of these racers wound up on the stage last year at our awards banquet. Cassie, a track champion in Powder Puff and Sportsman. Good, your champion in the high school category. Good will go in deep. Cassie comes in right behind. They are side by side as they head down track. Win light says Cassie Edwards-Wilson for the win. 8:45 on her 8:39. She went 0:12 on the tree. That helped a bunch. Dan Good, 8:62 on the 8:56 at 82. Pulling forward now. A couple of rare cars back in the day. The Monte Carlo SS for Scott Pickens. The Hearst Olds for Adam Hughes. Pickens trying to hit a 780. Hughes a 963. Hughes takes the win. 967 on the 963 at 69 miles an hour. Takes out Pickens' 4 off 784 at 85. Here's Ron Veach Sr. coming up now. Ron Sr. in the Pontiac Solstice. He thinks he's going to go 8:52. His competition, that is Cade Rich from Atlanta, Illinois. Pit side there in the Camaro. 8:22 the dial in over there. Clinton all out, lanes 3 and 4. Clinton all out, lanes 3 and 4.
Sunset on your color TV screen.
Finish line says it is Ron Sr. for the win. Rich takes the stripe and breaks out by 3. 8:19 on the 8:22. Ron Sr. 8:53, safe on his 8:52 at 80 miles per hour. Nick Brinkley and Neil Walker will be your final pair here in Sportsman. Brinkley with a 739 dial in. Neil Walker 1083. So the Yukon will be, or the Tahoe, excuse me, will be about to the concession stand by the time the Camaro leaves. Here he comes. Way down track. Here comes the Camaro. Walker breaks out. He goes 1082 on the 1083. He hit the binders, but not soon enough. Brinkley for the win, 747 at 92. Juniors coming up. Carson Donnell, Decatur, Illinois. Can't find that 890 today, but he's going to try to run a 901. His new ride for this year. Taking on Kaylee Louderback. She's going as low as you can go. The 790 dial in for one of the Louderbrats over there pit side out of Mechanicsburg. Pro winners to 5 and 6. Pro buybacks 7 and 8. Pro cars back to the lanes. Pro winners to 5 and 6. Pro buybacks 7 and 8. Win light for Kaylee Louderback, 796 on her 790 at 80 miles an hour. Donald off pace at the tree, but runs closer to the number, 902 on the 901 at 71. But gives up about a tenth at the tree to Kaylee Louderback. So the other half of the Louderbrats Ryan Louderback from Mechanicsburg, Illinois. Lines up over here in the tower lane. Ryan Louderback with a 790 dial. Abby Swoboda from Decatur. She's in the Cedar City Motors lane. She's also dialed a 790. Heads up race here. Swoboda down track. Here comes Louderback at the finish line. It is Louderback for the win. 791 on the 790. One off for Louderback. Swoboda had the better light, but she goes 8 off 798 on her 790 at 80 miles an hour. Blake Lee coming up now. The Chief, Kansas, Illinois. 890 the dial in there for Blake Lee, taking on Emma Babb, the wild one. Emma with an 1194 dial in. The Decatur runner, she carries the bounty. The Max Lee bounty. Blake had to sit there a long time and watch her go down track. Here he comes. Driving around her at the big end. He'll pick up the win, 896 on the 890 at 53 miles an hour. Emma Babb off pace 12:10 on the 1194. She had the light, but he runs closer to the number and picks up the win. So Blake Lee picks up the Max Lee bounty here in round number 1. Here is Kinzer Lee. Kinzer out of Kansas, Illinois with an 1190 dial in. Taking on Katie Cutler. Katie from Dawson, Illinois, 799 the dial in over there pit side.
There of all time. Followed by Claire Huxtable on the Cosbys. I never watched that show, so I don't really know.
Kinzer down track. Here comes Katie.
Marie Baron.
At the finish line, it's going to be Katie for the win. Kinzer breaks out, goes 1186, 4 under on the 1190. Katie Cutler for the win, 804 on the 799. Katie with a good-looking 018 light at the start, and she is your winner.
Cards just a tap away on the Geico app. Fact 1, moms love flowers. Fact 2.
Eric drills the tree, best light of the session, 009 light. Whoa. Better slow her down a little bit there, 775
Keeps on
at 83 miles an hour.
Destroyed the area.
This was our own community. Friends, family, people we grew up with.
Here we go with Gary Burns. Gary Burns in the Hopper Auto and Family Racing lane, tower side. He's dialed in a 575. His competition, the 550 dial in for Jim Falvey. The Darts Aster 2 Dodge Dart.
In my state.
It was one of those.
Good looking pass there for Falvey. 554 at 124 for Jim Falvey. And for all that, the red light start for Eric Ziegler. Cade Rich will move on. 825 at 84 for Cade Rich. He should have left that 22 on it. Ziegler 760 on the 753, but the red light start. Tad Wolf dialed in at 850. That's the tower side. That is the 99 Camaro taking on Nick Brinkley. Also from Clinton, a 743 dial in there on the 68 Camaro. Down track they go. Brinkley has the starting line advantage and will take the win. 755 on the 743. Nick Brinkley, your winner. Tad Wolf, 4 off 854 on the 850. Big margin there for Brinkley at the starting line. Coming up now, Jack Leach from Lincoln, Illinois. That is the green 67 Chevy, the Nova over here tower side, taking on B.J. Obermeyer. That is the 92 Mustang pit side. Obermeyer trying to go 770. Super Pro, back to the lanes. Jack Leach for the win, 821 on the 804 at 74. Leach is your winner. B.J. Obermeyer, 785 on the 770, a little off pace there. Leach takes the win. Adam Hughes gets the bye run into the next round. The Hurst Olds. Pro cars should all be there. Adam Hughes, 956 on the 963 at 74. Round number 2 of Pro will start out like this. Bob Dillon and Chad Isley, your first pair. Dillon in the 46 Ford Coupe. He's staged and ready. 748 the dial in. Taking on Chad Isley, 603 the dial over there on the Kawasaki bike. Isley has the light. Here he comes, charging hard. He'll pick up the round win. 604 on his 603 for your winner, Chad Isley. 102 for the speed. Dillon goes one off. They both go one off. 749 on the 748. Margin of victory decided on the starting line right there for Chad Isley. Stuart Galloway, Ralph Craig, your next pair. I see the money green Firebird over there is for sale. If you like it, want a good looking, good running race car, go see Ralph Craig. Stuart Galloway, Milford, Illinois, 722 the dial in. For Ralph Craig, he's trying to go 663. Galloway overpowers the starting line once again. Ralph Craig, your winner, 673 on the 663 at 92. For Galloway, 788 at 93 miles per hour.
Learn more.
So it looks like a couple of our CID regulars matching up here in Coles County Dragway. Happy to have those folks coming over to join us here today. Wayne Parsons from Havana, Illinois, the rear engine dragster tower side, will be taking on Kevin Heflin.
This honor puts Carl in the top.
Good looking pass for both. I think Heflin gets a little sideways down there. Parsons takes the win, 647 on the 645 at 97. The dragster, the winner for Kevin Heflin, 643 on the 640 at 93 in a losing effort.
Get your $99.
Coming up now, this is Max Lang.
Research shows
Lang from Charleston, Illinois, old 5-time over here.
Vehicle to make sure I'm priced lower.
Got a pretty good streak going there in the old Willys, taking on Harold Wright. Right out of Ashmore, Illinois.
The vehicle doesn't have a depot sticker on the back of it. You probably paid too much.
So the announcer's jinx gets him. Red light start for Max Lang. Harold Wright gets the automatic win. 783 on the 787. He breaks out, but it doesn't matter.
Motorcyclist.
As Lang goes red, but runs. How about this? He was 004 red, but he ran dead on with an O. 649 with an O on the 649 at 104.
Stay alert and let's share
Darrell Thompson and Rick Schaffner coming up.
our community.
Battle of the Pontiacs. Thompson in the GTO. There he goes. Rick Schaffner in the Firebird. Here he comes.
Still making your student loan payments?
Schaffner will get the win. 608 on his 605. Schaffner is your winner. Thompson breaks out, takes the stripe, and breaks out by a ton as he goes 747. That's 15 under on his 762 at 93. Coming up now, this is Rob Fisher, the Rain Man from Humboldt, Illinois, 828 the dial.
Hi, this is NASCAR driver David.
Taking on Sam Zahn.
I know that underinflated tires can end my day early. Maintaining proper tire pressures.
651 the dial in for Zahn. Fisher down track. Here comes the S10. But he can't get it done. Fisher holds him off. The S10 takes the stripe, breaks out by 1 too quick, 650 at 104. Fisher is safe by 4, 832 on his 828 at 79.
By the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
So back to the starting line we go. Pair of young ladies here. Both of them have won the honor of being queen of the track here at Coles County. Kelly Dahm, Tower Side. Dietrich, Illinois in the Dodge Dart GTS. The red car with a 659 dial in, taking on Cassie Edwards Wilson. She's dialed in an 838 pit side in her 99 Camaro. Cassie goes red. Kelly will go on to the next round. Kelly with a 662 on her 659 at 102. She is your winner. Cassie goes 1 under 837 with a 9 on her 838. But the red light start for Cassie Edwards Wilson here in round 2. Sportsman cars, we need you back to the staging lanes. Sportsman winners to 5 and 6. Buybacks 7 and 8. Here's Jesse Brandt, Mattoon, Illinois. The Oldsmobile Cutlass. Tower Lane with a 783 dial. Tyler Stein with a 670 dial. Brandt down track. Here comes Stein. A lot of ground to make up. Can he get the job done? Nope. Brandt for the win. 786 on the 783 at 83 miles an hour. Stein goes dead on 670 at 101, but that 014 light for Jesse Brandt moves him to round number 3. Greg Brashear will get the single into third round competition. Sportsman 7 and 8. Sportsman 7 and 8. Junior Dragsters back to the lanes, lane 9. Juniors back to the lanes, lane number 9. Greg Brashear, 645. 645 at 105 for Greg Brashear. Eric Cooper, Tower side of the track, Martinsville, Illinois. The home there for the 77 Kawasaki. He's a former track champion in the pro category. Running here in Super Pro today, trying to go 566. His competition, that's Walt Edwards. Over there in the Cedar City Motors lane with a 561 dial.
Less work.
Pretty close off the starting line. Big N says it is Cooper for the win. 566 with an 8 on the 566. He was dead on with an 8. 118 for the speed. Walt Edwards 3 off 564 on the 561 at 121. Here's Bobby Paul, the King Rat himself, head of the Eastern Illinois Rat Racers. Sponsored by VP Fuels Midwest. The S10 pickup truck out of Westfield, Illinois. 735 the dial in, taking on Mark and Dormalee Dunlap's Malibu. 648 the dial in over there pit side. Red light start for Dunlap. Bobby would have been tough to beat as he went 004 on the tree. 737 at the big end at 92. Mark Dunlap, red light start 650 at 104. Todd Cap, Sherman, Illinois, 70 Chevelle. He thinks he's going to go 6:08. His competition, that's the Darkster 2 Dodge Dart. Jim Falby at the controls out of Clinton, Illinois, and he thinks he's going to go 5:52. Head start over here tower side for the Chevy. Little too quick for Cap. He goes red, 499 red. Jim Falby out the back door, 5:54 at 124 for Jim Falby. Cap red light start, 6:09 at 110. Dale Short, the short racing entry. That is the Little Vega out of Shelbyville, Illinois. 5:51 there on the Lexan window, taking on the 7:01 dial for Eric Rayburn. Winner last weekend here at Coles County. So the head start for the orange car. At the big end, it is Rayburn hanging on for the win. 7:03 on the 7:01. He had the light. Short ran the number. Dead on with a 7. 5:51 with a 7 on the 5:51. But not good enough at the starting line. Rayburn takes the tree and takes the win. Troy Salazar. He's in the dragster, tower side. 5:55 is his dial-in. He'll be chasing down Chad Isley, Charleston, Illinois. Proudly displaying that big number 1 national championship winner in the motorcycle category last year. Chad down track. Here comes Salazar. Salazar went 017 on the tree but ran dead on the number. It's 5:55 on the 5:55. Isley had a 008 light, but he was 7 thous too quick. Went 6:02 with a 3 on a 6:03 at 111. Dragsters out of the water box, getting set to back up right now. Tower side here in the Hopper Auto and Family Racing lane. It's going to be Megan Jackson. Daddy's girl, it says there on the side of the car. Mark Williams built that car. Jackson at the controls out of West Terre Haute, Indiana. Megan trying to go 6:33. Her competition, Mark Hopper. Hopper from Mattoon, Illinois. In the Cedar City Motors lane. Dial in a 5:16. Might as well paint it on. He's been running that number round after round, race after race. And been hitting it too. And you could see that one coming as Megan went in a little too deep. She red lighted her chances away. Hopper 5:16 with a 1 on the 5:16. 131 for the speed. For Megan Jackson, red light starts 6:24. Picked up a bunch at 107. So time for motorcycles. Round 2 coming up. It's Eric Cooper and Richard Russell. Cooper from Martinsville, Illinois. Russell from Decatur. Russell did what all drag racers do at least once last year. He bought a boat, then he sold a boat. Good looking lights for both racers. Big End says it is Cooper for the win. Russell took the stripe, broke out by a ton. He went 6:45 on the 6:54. Cooper, your winner, 5:66 with a 1 on the 5:66. Ken Walker, Brian Davis coming up now. Walker out of Kansas, Illinois with a 631 dial in. Brian Davis, White Heath, Illinois, the home base, 565 the dial. Brian Davis picks up the round win, 569 on the 565 at 112 for Brian Davis, 636 for Kenny Walker at 106. Sportsman round 2 starts out with Tad Wolf and Neil Walker. Tad Wolf, Clinton, Illinois, 851 the dial in. That is the black Camaro, closest to me here in the tower. Neil Walker from Mattoon, he's in the Tahoe, trying to go 1080. Walker gets the head start. There he goes. Here comes Tad Wolf. At the stripe, it is Neil Walker for the win. 1084 on the 1080 at 65. Tad Wolf, 5 off. He goes 5 off. Walker was 4 off. Pretty close drag race down there. Wolf, 856 at 79.
This is Radio Gordon playing the sounds of electric garbage. I'm your host.
Jerry Decker Jr., Sullivan, Illinois, taking on Robert Soper out of Mattoon. Decker in Mama's Worry car. 824 the dial in. Soper with a 908.
It was intended. This next track sounds the way I feel. Not that. Yes, that's better. From America's...
Robert Soper for the win, 920 on his 908. He is your winner. Jerry Decker Jr., how about an 840 on his 824 at 73? Better light for Bobby Soper.
And a great financing rate of 1.9%. Choose from Downstate's large...
Scott Pickens and Dan Good. Good goes red. Pickens will go on for the win.
Got my inventory at DeepolesAuto.com. At Deeples Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac on Route 16 in Charleston. I'm Ron Deeples, and if your vehicle doesn't...
Pickens, 786 on his 780. He is your winner. For Dan Good, 875 on the red light.
You can experience maximum weight loss, pounds in days. It's all natural, safe, and healthy. But if your weight loss with AF Plus is too dramatic, please decrease use and only take it every other day. Only 100...
So BJ Obermeyer and Kyle Wright, your next pair. Obermeyer, some trouble getting off the starting line. A lot of room to try to catch up on. Kyle Wright stands on the brakes down there. 1019 on the 996. He is your winner. Obermeyer, 877 on the 770. Just kind of an ugly-looking pass all the way around for Obermeyer.
Think fast.
Jerry Decker and Nick Brinkley coming up now. Nick Brinkley in the 67 Camaro out of Clinton, 749 the dial in. Jerry Decker with an 855 in the Grandpa's Toy Camaro.
Fast. Face, arm, time.
Clinton all out to lanes 3 and 4. Clinton all out. Back to the lanes 3 and 4.
In America, go to school hungry every day. I'm Viola Davis. I was one of those children.
So for Nick Brinkley, a 749 on the 757. He is your winner. Jerry Decker, not sure what happened there. 975 on the 855 at 76.
To help us end childhood hunger.
Help undo hunger for America's children. Go to hungeris.org to learn more.
Clinton all out cars to lanes 3 and 4. Clinton all out to lanes 3 and 4. We need you to head that way. Ron Veach Sr. and Adam Hughes coming up now. Ron Sr. out of Charleston, Illinois in the Pontiac Solstice, 853 the dial in. For Adam Hughes, trying to run a 963 there in the Hearst Olds.
First and only mid-size production bagger, the low and mean V-Star 950, the class-leading bike motorcycle.
Veach hard on the brakes, takes him across for the win. 854 on the 853 at 74. He is your winner. Hughes is 6 off, 969 on the 963 at 72.
On into Mattoon Yamaha at 21st.
Jack Leach Rob Fisher coming up now. Leach from Lincoln, Illinois, 804 the dial in. Fisher with an 828 dial. Clinton all out, lanes 3 and 4. Clinton all out, lanes 3 and 4.
For this evening, showers and thunderstorms likely, mostly cloudy and a low of 63. For your Mother's Day, a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, a high of 82. By Sunday night, mostly cloudy, a low of 70. And into Monday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, a high.
So Rob Fisher with the red light start.
8-8, 7-11 Rock.
Jack Leach for the win, 802 on the 804. He breaks out, but it doesn't matter. Fisher goes red, 829 at 81. Looks like juniors are up next. Clinton all out cars back to the lanes 3 and 4. Here's Cassie Edwards Wilson. She'll be taking the single into the next round. 838 is the dial in there. She'll be using this as a time pass for round number 3. Clinton all out, lanes 3 and 4. Clinton all out, lanes 3 and 4. That was way red for Cassie. 838 with a 6, dead on with a 6. At 84 miles per hour. Again. Your next round here in junior drag racing. This is round 2 of the regular race. Blake Lee, the Chief, out of Kansas, Illinois, trying to go 890. Taking on Kaylee Louderback, Mechanicsburg, Illinois. Kaylee trying to go 790. Pro buybacks 7 and 8. Pro winners 5 and 6. So for Blake Lee, stumbled off the starting line, but Kaylee Louderback, red light start. Kaylee went 799 at 81. For Blake Lee, broke out. He went 876 on the 890. Not sure if he's trying to do some throttle stop action there or what, but he will move on to the next round.
Classic Rock 92.1, The Axe.
Eric has the starting line advantage. He'll be your winner. 795 on the 790 for Eric Willenberg. For Ryan Louderback, runs closer to the dial in, 792 on the 790. But better at the starting line was Eric Willenberg. The whole shot win for Smilin' Bob. Here's Katie Cutler off and running on her bye. Katie will move on to the semis with an 801. 801, 200 on the 803 at 80 miles per hour. But Katie gets the bye run into the next round. Now it's time for the Ray Evans consolation side of the ladder. Here's Kinzer Lee. Tower side, Kansas, Illinois, 1190 there on the dial-in board. Taking on Abby Swoboda. Trying to go 790. So that means a 4-second head start over here in the tower lane for Kinzer. Kinzer down track. Here comes Abby. Abby with a lot of ground to make up. Gets it done. Kinzer breaks out. 1187, 3 under on the 1190 at 53. Took the stripe, broke out by 3. Abby Swoboda, your winner, 799 on the 790 at 80 miles per hour. Emma Babb and Carson Donnell coming up now. Both of these racers from Decatur, Illinois. Emma Babb, the wild one. She's in the tower lane. Emma trying to go 11.99. Carson, 9:01 the dial in over there. Still trying to sort out that junior. Emma down track. Here comes Carson. At the finish line, it is Carson for the win. Emma breaks out. Emma goes 11.86 on the 11.99. Carson 9.04 on the 9.01 at 71. Here's Jack Leach and Jim Falvey. Leach in the 67 Nova Tower side, 7.99 the dial. Falvey with a 5.53 dial. Leach with the red light start. Here comes Falvey. Put those new tires on there and it's been hooking like a dream. 5.53 with a 5 on the 5.53. 124 for the speed. Jack Leach, red light start, 8.10 at 84. Adam Hughes and Nick Brinkley coming up now, 9.63 and 7.49 the dial ends. Hughes down track, here comes Brinkley. Brinkley for the win. 7.66 on the 7.49. Nick Brinkley, your winner. So the win light there, Adam Hughes, 9.75 on the 9.63 at 72. Round 3 coming up. 2 go down, 1 comes back with a catch. We do have this thing called the third round wild card. If you lose in the third round and you want to take one more shot at it, go over to the tech booth. You get one more chance to buy a ticket. One person will be drawn. That person gets put back in. Good luck to you. But the rest of you can go home. Bob Dillon and Sam Zahn coming up. Bob Dillon, Dalton City, Illinois, 7.48 the dial in. For Sam Zahn, a 6.49 dial. Sam's been kind of fighting that truck all day long. Not looking much better right now. I think something's broke on that truck. Zahn broke out, 6.48 on the 6.49. Bob Dillon, dead on, 7.48 on the 7.48 at 90 miles an hour. Dillon goes 0.11 on the tree, dead on with a 5, a 16 thou package for Bob Dillon. Max Lang and Stuart Galloway coming up now. Max from Charleston, Illinois, 6.48 the dial in. Stuart Galloway, a 7.15. Galloway gets the head start. Galloway just dead late on the starting line. Max Lang for the win, 6.50 on the 6.48 at 100 miles an hour. Galloway, 7.28 off pace on the 7.15 at 94. Here's Cassie Edwards-Wilson from Charleston, Illinois. 8.38 is Cassie's dial-in. Be taking on Darrell Thompson. Thompson from Pana, Illinois. 7.46 is the dial-in over there for Thompson. Ken Byard's going to ask Darrell Thompson to back out of the beams. Ken needs to get out of the beams. We do observe courtesy staging here. So
the axe.
So Daryl, I think he's going to try her one more time. So for Daryl Thompson, your final staging motion has to be forward. So Cassie red lights, but gets the win. Cassie Edwards Wilson, 8:37.84 for the win. Daryl Thompson disqualified there because of the staging problem. Greg Brashear, Chad Isley coming up now. Isley making up ground on the Mustang. He'll sit up on the bike and take the win. Isley 6:11 on the 6:02 at 101. Brashear 1 off 6:48 on the 6:47. So he's 1 off. Yeah, try to say that once real fast. Chad Isley went 9 off. Brashear goes 1 off. Brashear loses. That race was won on the starting line. I try to say things that are witty and insightful. I sound like an idiot. So, there you go. Wayne Parsons, Ralph Craig coming up now. Parsons in the Dragster from Havana, Illinois, 6:45 the dial in. Ralph Craig. There's a race car for you, Sarah. It's for sale. 6:62 the dial in there. Wheels up start there for Ralph Craig. Parsons did not get off the starting line. Not sure what that was about. 6:83 for the win for Ralph Craig. Parsons 8:30 in the Dragster coasting through. It's the Rain Man, Rob Fisher, coming up now. 8:28 the dial in on the $1 Million Malibu. Taking on Harold Wright, the runner out of Ashmore, Illinois, with a 787 dial. Old Brown gets the head start. Good lights by both drivers. Big N says it's Fisher for the win. Wright takes the stripe, breaks out by 2. 785, 2 quick on the 787 for Fisher. Dead on 828 with a 2 on the 828. Wright had the 026 to 036 reaction time advantage. But Fisher runs the number and takes the win. Super Pro cars, you should all be in the staging lanes. Motorcycles as well. Sportsman buybacks to 7 and 8. Sportsman buybacks 7 and 8. Sportsman winners 5 and 6. Sportsman cars back to the lanes. Buybacks to 7 and 8. Winners to 5 and 6. Here's Kelly Dom. She'll be taking on Rick Schaffner. Here comes Schaffner. Little room in his back pocket. He'll take the round win. 6:09 on the 6:08 at 107. Kelly Dom 3 off 664 on her 661 at 102. Here's Jesse Brandt and Tyler Stein. Brandt with a 782 dial in. He's been killer on the tree all day long. Tyler Stein from Springfield, 669 the dial in over there for the Nova. Well, how about this for Jesse Brandt? Perfect reaction time. 000 light. Dead on with a 2. 782 with a 2 on the 782. That is a 2,000s package for Jesse Brandt. How about that? Tyler Stein breaks out by 1. 668 on the 669. But he was cooked by Jesse Brandt. Perfect light. Dead on with a 2. We move right into Super Pro round 3.
I pound the glass. So here
Megan Jackson and Walt Edwards pair up here in round number 3.
I am a
The Daddy's Girl car over here, Tower Side. That is the red Dragster.
Hockey fans aren't
West Terre Haute, Indiana, the home base. 623 the dial. Walt Edwards from Charleston with a 563 dial in. Be headed down the Cedar City Motors side of the track.
Bud Light, America's favorite. Delivered fresh from Ronchetti Distributing.
So you bounce out of bed every morning ready to take on the world. You're pumped about rushing to work with all those great people at the office.
A little better this time around for Megan Jackson. But Walt will take the win here. 566 on the 563. Megan goes 626 on the 623. They were both off by the same amount, but the reaction time better there for Walt Edwards.
We love to help people succeed.
Here's Dale Short and Chad Isley.
At Cromwell Radio.
Short with a 551 dial-in. Short from Shelbyville, Illinois. Isley from Charleston. 602 the dial. Red light start for Dale Short. Chad Isley gets the automatic round win. Isley 601 on his 602 at 113. Dale Short goes red 552 at 124.
And review your immunizations, medical allergies, test results, and more at a...
Coming up now, this is Eric Cooper and Eric Rayburn. Rematch of a first round pairing. Cooper out of Martinsville, Illinois, 565 the dial in. He'll be chasing down Eric Rayburn. I ran out of all the funny stuff I can say about Eric Rayburn. He's not from Fisher. He doesn't drive the Slowsmobile.
Get it! Spring is fast approaching, and you want to be ready.
But he does win. Picked up the winner's check last weekend here at Coles County.
If your brakes, shocks, or struts need attention, 3Js can check them out for you. And don't... Arcola is your full-service automotive and truck repair shop. They offer free towing within 50 miles of our...
So Rayburn had the light, took the stripe, broke out by 4. 698 on the 702. Your winner, Eric Cooper, 565 with a 7 on the 565 at 119.
For the perfect moment to strike. Oh no! He's coming after me!
It's Troy Salazar coming up now in the Dragster. He'll be lined up alongside the King Rat, Bobby Paul, out of Westfield, Illinois. The old farm truck over there, your defending class champion in the Super Pro category. Bobby trying to go 736. Salazar 555. And the red eye there for Troy Salazar. Bobby Paul gets the round win. Bobby Paul, 737 on the 736. 92 for the speed. Salazar, red light start, 554 at 124.
Next up, it's Mark Hopper out of Mattoon, dialed in 515 there in the Dragster. He's up against Todd Knapp out of Sherman in the 70 Chevelle, dialed in 609. Pair of almost identical reaction times. They'll get down there. And it looks like Hopper's going to take the win. 516, one off on his 515 dial. He goes 23 on the tree. Cap was better, 520 on the tree, but a hair off on his dial as he goes 607. Next up here, it's Ken Walker. He's tower side, dialed in 634 up against Richard Russell. Out of Decatur, dialed in 645. Both very close on the tree. And it looks like Walker's going to take the win. Walker, 642 on his 634, goes off with a 44 light. Russell, 698, a little ways off on his 645. He goes 34 on the tree. Next up, it's Eric Cooper. Cooper's tower side, out of Martinsville, dialed in 565. He's up against Brian Davis on the 82 Suzuki, dialed in 565. Ditto dial. Davis will take the automatic win. He goes 20 on the tree. Cooper goes red. Cooper won off 566 on the 565. Davis won ahead. He goes 564 on the 565. Doesn't matter. He'll take the win. Next up, it's Tad Wolf. Tad out of Clinton. He's tower side. 851 the dial for the Camaro. He's up against Jerry Decker, the little older 84 Camaro, dialed in 855. Decker carrying the light, but he has some trouble on the start. And he'll give the automatic win to Tad. Tad goes 857 on the 851, 6 off at 76. Decker, 1138, coasting it down at 75. Next up, it's the Rain Man Rob Fisher. He's tower side. Out of Humboldt, the 83 Malibu. Dialed in 828. He's up against Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes in the Olds Monte Carlo. Dialed in 969. Fisher dumps it and takes the win. 837 on the 828, running off as he goes slow. He'll take the win. Adam Hughes a little off, 974, 5 off on his 969. Next up, it's Neil Walker, their pit side, out of Mattoon, dialed in 1083. He's up against Ron Veach Sr., tower side, the 2009 Pontiac Solstice, dialed in 851.
Make me weak. I'm gonna die just when you said we try loving, touching, squeezing.
Veach just 8 thou red. He'll give the automatic win to Walker. Walker pretty good, 49 on the tree. And he breaks out 1082 with a 1 on his 1083, but Walker does take the win. Veach breaks out also 849 with a 7 on his 851. Next up, it's Jack Leach. He's out of Lincoln in the Nova. Tower side, dialed in 797. He's up against Nick Brinkley out of Clinton, dialed in 755 in the 67 Camaro. Jack will take the win. He goes 805, coasting on his 797 at 81. Nick, 751, breaking out on his 755 at 90. Next up, Scott Pickens, tower side. He's dialed in 785. He's up against Robert Soper. Robert out of Mattoon. He's got the good-looking S10 over there, dialed in 914. Once again, Pro Cars, lanes 5 and 6. Pro Cars, lanes 5 and 6. Jesse Brandt, you have the bye. Soper takes the win. He goes 9:26 on his 9:14 way off, but he had the light. Pickens runs dead on 785 with a 6 on his 785, but too late on the starting line. Next up, it's Cassie Edwards-Wilson, tower side out of Charleston. Her 99 Camaro, she's dialed in 836. Up against Dan Good, he's out of Tolono, dialed in 863 in the Buick Regal.
The least complicated decision today. Turn it on. Turn it on. Classic Rock 92.1, The Axe.
Troy Salazar, you are the winner for the wild card in the Super Pro category. When we call you for round 4, please report. Cassie takes the win, 838 on her 836, takes a 001 stripe as she goes 564 on the tree. Good, just a little off, he goes 850 at 82. And here's the lucky one, Kyle Wright. He takes the bye run here for the Sportsman category in the 2011 Ford Mustang, cheating on the Camaros. And he doesn't take it easy. He goes 004 on the tree. Attention in the pits. Super Pro. Lanes 1 and 2. Super Pro. Lanes 1 and 2. Troy Salazar, please report. You are the wild card.
Pro cars and Super Pro cars, you should be in the staging lanes. If you're not, we need you to head that way. Pro and Super Pro to the lanes. This is the semifinal in a regular race. Katie Cutler, Dawson, Illinois, alongside Eric Willenberg. It's like Rick fighting something over there on the junior. Eric dialed in at a 790. Katie, 799.
Well, congratulations to Rush this weekend as their debut album hit number 127 on the Billboard Top 200 this week. Deluxe reissue, people snapping that.
He's
that you can't buy anymore. People that have the turntables. But I say a pretty good chart position.
Eric Willenberg for the win, 797 on the 790 at 77. Katie Cutler goes 803 on the 799. Eric was 7 off, she was 4 off, but he had the better light by enough to make the difference. Eric will move on to the final.
At the Buffalo.
Take on
the epicenter of motors.
Blake Lee. Blake,
Illinois,
having kind of a surprising day. He's had trouble with that car all day long, and yet he moves on to the final here. 890 dialed in there on the side of the car. So Ronnie out in front of the car.
Together, and you'll feel like the mayor of Savingsville. Yes, you will. A town famous for the world's biggest puppy.
Bundle your home and auto together and save.
So Blake gets that red light out of his system. 888. 888 at 76.
Or more.
Carson Donald, Decatur, Illinois, 902 the dial in. He's in the tower lane. His competition also from Decatur. She is in the pit lane. That is Abby Swoboda. She's got it dialed to 797.
Just once a day, and you can experience maximum weight loss, pounds in days. It uses natural ingredients, making it healthy and safe.
And the red light start for Carson means Abby Swoboda will pick up the automatic win here in the final of the Ray Evans Consolation Race. Abby Swoboda, 814 on the 797. Good enough for the win. Carson Donald, 904 on the 902. 2 off on the dial-in, but way red for Carson Donald.
The free iGo radio app.
Attention concerned citizens. Are you adequately prepared to rock?
Let's hit it.
Classic rock on the Axe.
Sportsman back to the lanes. Sportsman back to the lanes. Adam Hughes picks up the wild card. Adam Hughes picks up the wild card. Sportsman back to the lanes. Lane 7. and 8. Here's Chad Isley and Ralph Craig. Red light start for Ralph Craig. Isley gets to move on to the next round. Isley 6:04 on his 6:02 at 1:05. Ralph Craig, red light start 6:63 with a 4 on his 6:63. Tosses away a dead-on run. Here's Bob Dillon. Dillon out of Dalton City, Illinois. 46 Ford Coupe, Chevy Power. 747 the dial in. Taking on Harold Wright. Harold Wright has the bounty on him. 782 the dial. Harold kind of in trouble as they head down track. Yep. Cough up that $10 to Bob Dillon. Dillon, your winner, 751 on the 747 at 87. Harold Wright, 785, 3 off on his 782. Purple cars a pair on the starting line now. Max Lang, Rick Schaffner. Lang from Charleston, the Hall of Famer, 648 the dial in. Here comes Rick Schaffner. Big N says it is Schaffner for the win, ending the winning streak for Max Lang. 4 under, 644 on the 648. Lang took the stripe, broke out by 4. Schaffner was safe by 1, 606 on the 605. So the streak ends at 5 races for Max Lang. A different winner tonight as Rick Schaffner picks up the round win. Pair of former track champions pulling up now to the starting line. This is Rob Fisher and Cassie Edwards Wilson. The Rain Man, Tower Side, 828 the dial in. Taking on Cassie. She's trying to go 836. Down track they go at the stripe. It is Fisher for the win. Cassie's been killing the tree, but not this time. She is 3 off 839 on the 836. Rob Fisher also 3 off 831 on the 828, but he had the light by a bunch. Jesse Brandt, almost a perfect pass last time around. He will take the bye into the next round. Brandt out of Mattoon, Illinois. 84 Olds Cutlass. He went 000 on the tree, dead on with a 2 to pick up the bye to move into the next round. $778 at 86. Here's Eric Cooper, Martinsville, Illinois. 566 is the dial in. Taking on Walt Edwards. Guess what? Walt Edwards also dialed 566. It's a ditto dial between the dragster and the motorcycle. Cooper went 023, but he was late. Edwards went 003, dead on with a 5. That's an 8 thousandths package. But how about this for Cooper? He went dead on with a 5 as well. They both went dead on with a 5. Better light for Walt Edwards. He'll move on to the next round. So Troy Salazar, your wild card here in this round, he gets a tough draw as he gets to take on Chad Isley. Salazar 554 the dial in. Isley a 602. Isley drills him on the tree like he needs an extra $10. Isley takes the win, 604 on the 602 at 110. Salazar, 3 under 551, trying to make up ground, could not get it done. Here's Bobby Paul and Mark Hopper. I'll tell you what, Hopper's got something figured out this year, because he went 007 on the tree, 517 a little off pace as Bobby Paul broke out by 1,000th, 734 with a 9 on the 735, but Hopper took the stripe, had him covered, and took the win. He's carried the bye since round one into the final. How about that? Hopper finally gets to use that bye in the final to get to the final round. Time to move into the next round, fourth round of Sportsman coming up. Tad Wolf and Neil Walker coming at you right now. Wolf in the Camaro, Clinton, Illinois. It's a 99 Camaro. He thinks he's going to go 851. Neil Walker there in the Tahoe, trying to go 1083. A little too quick for Wolf. He goes red. Neil Walker gets the automatic round win, moves on to the next round. Eric Cooper, we need you back to the lanes. Eric Cooper, back to the lanes. Neil Walker, 1077. He broke out, didn't matter. Red light start for Tad Wolf, and a coasting 1137. Adam Hughes, the wild card winner, takes on Kyle Wright. So Kyle could get that $10 back that his dad lost in the last round. Hughes with a 975 dial, 996 for Kyle Wright.
5 weeks away from the kickoff of Motley Crue's farewell tour. And I discovered this week that there are not one but two.
Right on the binders there. Double breakout win for Kyle Wright. 991 on the 996. He was 5 under. Hughes a 10th under, 965 on the 975 at 69.
Song from Godsmack, which I guess is a personal.
So it's Cassie, Edwards, Wilson, and Rob Fisher. I think I've seen this before. 839 the dial in for Cassie. Rob Fisher, 827 the dial in.
And that you probably shouldn't be behind the mic on the radio. That's my opinion. And I'm looking forward to seeing the crew tour, but I don't know. Rock stars behind the mic in radio shows, my opinion, hasn't worked out too well. It's Fendrick. We'll do Nirvana in just a couple.
Classic Rock 92.1, The Axe.
Progressive presents Flo's newest jam. Bundling will make you feel like the mayor of Savingsville.
Bundle your home and auto together, and you'll feel like the...
Too close to call off the starting line. It'll be decided at the stripe. And it is Cassie for the win, 843 on the 839. She's 4 off. Fisher is 5 off, 832 on the 827 at 81. They were identical off the starting line.
These days.
Cassie, closer to the dial, takes the win. Jack Leach, Lincoln, Illinois, 797 the dial in. That is the little green Nova over here, tower side. Be taking on Robert Soper. Soper out of Mattoon, 915 is the dial in. Again, if you're still in competition, we need you back to the lanes. All winners in all classes back to the lanes.
Pilsen Auto Centers are busting out with great deals. Jamie Pilsen here with nearly 700 vehicles in our massive inventories. You're sure to find the vehicle you deserve. Like this, new 2014 Ford F-150 Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, take $8,000 right off MSRP. And remember, we love your trade. Even if you don't buy ours, we'll still buy yours. Looking for...
So here comes Leach.
Ford Fusion for only...
Leach will take the win, 799 on the 797. Had the better light. Soper 5 off, 920 on the 915 at 74. So Jack Leach advances to the next round.
That's almost twice the coverage.
Eric Cooper, Tower Side, Martinsville, Illinois, 566 still on the dial-in board. Brian Davis, a 564 dial. Away they go. Davis really driving that bike. Not to be, though. Eric Cooper for the win. 580 on the 566 at 99. Eric Cooper, your winner. Brian Davis, he had his hands full. 594 at 110. Ken Walker dialed in a 633. Just a time pass to move on to the final round to take on Eric Cooper. Again, all winners in all classes. Back to the lanes.
See us at our new location right beside Starbucks and check out the exciting Samsung Galaxy deals. An S3 for a penny or an S4 for $49 on our new 4G plan with truly
634 at 107. Coming up. 890 the dial in for Blake Lee, Kansas, Illinois. He's in the Hopper Auto and Family Racing lane. Taking on Eric Willenberg. Smiling Bob, 790 his dial in. He's over in the Cedar City Motors lane. That's the pit side. Lee with the starting line advantage. Here comes Willenberg. At the finish line, it's Willenberg taking the win. He finally ran the number. Dead on 790 with a 5. Dead on with a 5 at 75. Blake Lee, your runner-up here today, 902. Off pace for him at 74. Blake had the light by a pretty fair margin, but Eric runs a dead on 790 to take the win. So congratulations to Eric and to all of our junior dragster racers here today. So quarterfinal action coming up here in Pro. 5 racers left. Chad Isley, Charleston, Illinois, 603 the dial-in. Taking on Bob Dillon, 748 the dial-in for the 46 Ford Coupe out of Dalton City, Illinois. Here comes Chad Isley, chasing him down. But Dillon hangs on for the win. Isley had the light, but he's 4 off 607 on the 603. Dillon 1 off 749 on the 748. He'll be back for the semifinals. Coming up now, this is going to be, excuse me, Jesse Brandt and Rob Fisher. Brandt from Mattoon, Illinois. 778 the dial in for the 84 Olds Cutlass Tower Side. Rob Fisher, pit lane out of Humboldt in the $1 Million Malibu. 828 the dial in, pit side. Brandt with the starting line advantage. He'll be your winner. Fisher breaks out. He goes 3 under, 825 on the 828. Brandt, 015 on the tree, 779 for your winner, Jesse Brandt. He'll be back for semifinal action. Rick Schaffner gets the bye run into the semis. The high-flying Firebird out of Athens, Illinois. Still got a 605 on the window. And at the finish line, Schaffner with a 606 at 113. First pair, this will be Cassie Edwards-Wilson and Neil Walker. Cassie in the Camaro Tower Side from Charleston. She's trying to go 840. Neil Walker from Mattoon in the Yukon, or excuse me, the Tahoe. I've got that wrong about 12 times today. 1077 the dial in over there, pit side for Neil Walker. So Tahoe gets the head start. Cassie will be given chase. Cassie's night done here in Sportsman. Red light start for Cassie. Neil Walker will move on to the final. Walker 1074 on the 1077 breaks out. Doesn't matter. Red light start for Cassie and an 836 at 84. So Neil Walker moves on to the final round to take on either Kyle Wright or Jack Leach. Jack Leach, Lincoln, Illinois, 796 the dial-in, takes on Kyle Wright, the White Mustang, pit side from Ashmore, Illinois. Kyle dialed in at a 992. Head start there for the white car. Another red light decides it. This time it's Jack Leach, way too early. Kyle Wright gets the automatic win and the pass to the final to take on Neil Walker. Kyle Wright, 988 on the 992, 70 miles an hour for the speed. Jack Leach, 825, red light start at 69. So one of these two gets to move on to the final here in Super Pro. It'll either be Chad Isley, Charleston, Illinois. 602 the dial in there on his Kawasaki. His competition, Walt Edwards. Edwards in the Dragster. 566 the dial in. Wow, great drag race. Edwards for the win. 006 on the tree, 567 on his 566. Walt Edwards moves on to the final. Isley 4 off 606 on the 602. He went 025 on the tree, but he was late. 006 over on the pit side for Walt Edwards. So it'll be an all dragster final between Walt Edwards and Mark Hopper. Once again, a reminder, if you got money or a pass back or anything coming, you need to head to the tech booth. If you got a tab going over there, you need to head over as well. We need you to settle up over at tech before you head out the front gate here today. Mark Hopper out of Mattoon. Dials it down by 1:5:17, but it's a time run as he gets the bye run into the final round. So finals, 3 races in a row, I believe, for Mr. Hopper, as he went to the final last week twice. And he'll be moving to the final here tonight. $5.15 at 131 for Mark Hopper. So it'll be Mark Hopper and Walt Edwards in the final coming up in a little bit in Super Pro. Again, next up, your motorcycle final round. Final round for the bikes between Eric Cooper and Ken Walker. Cooper has the bounty. He bought the wild card. He's not earning points, but he'd like to take home the money here in the final round. Ken Walker, on the other hand, needs to knock him out here. Cooper dialed a 566 on his Kawasaki. Walker also riding a Kawasaki. He's dialed a 633 pit side. So the head start for the runner out of Kansas, Illinois. Great drag race there. Eric Cooper for the win. Kenny Walker breaks out by 3. He goes 3 too quick, 630 on the 633. Eric Cooper, your winner, 567 on the 566 at 119. So congratulations, Eric Cooper. Used the wild card to his advantage. got himself back in, and he picks up the win sticker here tonight in motorcycle. So pro semifinals backing into the water box right now. Jesse Brandt, Tower Side out of Mattoon, Illinois, be taking on Rick Schaffner from Athens. Brandt dialed in at a 778, gets the head start. Rick Schaffner will be playing catch up there in the Firebird. Schaffner with a 606 dial. Winner gets to take on Bob Dylan in the final. Here comes Schaffner on the brakes. He takes the win. Brandt breaks out, goes 1 under 777 on the 778. Schaffner, how about this? He went 010 on the tree. Dead on with an O. That's a 10 thou package there for Rick Schaffner to get into the final. 606 with an O on the 606. So Rick Schaffner will be back for one more round. That's the final round to take on Bob Dylan. Dylan out of Dalton City, Illinois. The 46 Ford Coupe with Chevy power. Got a 749 on the window. Down track they go, and Dylan with a 750 at 89 miles an hour. So it'll be Bob Dylan and Rick Schaffner in the final in pro. Kyle Wright coming up Tower Side, the Hopper Auto and Family Racing Lane. 989 the dial in for the 2011 Mustang, taking on Neil Walker. Walker in the Tahoe over there, 1075 the dial in, Cedar City Motorside. Walker off and running, and he'll see his win light flash at the big end. He is the automatic winner, Neil Walker. Kyle Wright with the red light start. Wright went 992 at 69. He's your runner-up. Your winner, Neil Walker, 1080 on the 1075. There are the numbers, 1080 on the 1075 for Neil Walker. He is your winner. Kyle Wright, red light start, 992 at 69.
Starting at 10 a.m. at the Cross County Mall in Mattoon. There's no charge, but space is limited. You don't have to bring your child, just his or her birth certificate will do. Get all the details at myradiolink.com.
The 2014.
So here is your final round in Pro Eliminator. Final in Pro. We'll match up Bob Dylan, Dalton City, Illinois. 750 the dial in for the 46 Ford Coupe. Taking on Rick Schaffner from Athens, Illinois. 604 the dial, pit side.
The world's
Schaffner charging hard. He's got the better light. Touches the brakes and takes home the money. He'll be your winner, Rick Schaffner, for the win. 605 on the 604 at 113. Rick Schaffner, your winner. Runner-up tonight, Bob Dylan. 751 on the 750, so both racers go one off. The better light, an 025 to an 037, goes to Rick Schaffner.
You live it, you love it, you rock it. Classic Rock 92.1, The Axe.
Your final of the evening here in Super Pro. Backing up from his burnout right now, this is Mark Hopper, Mattoon, Illinois, the home base for the Hopper Auto and Family Racing entry. 517 on his dial-in board there, mounted on the wing strut. He'll be taking on Walt Edwards. Edwards out of Charleston, Illinois. The Cedar City Motors entry. How about this? The two lane sponsors match up side by side in their own lanes. I don't know that that's ever happened before, but it's pretty cool. 566 the dial in for Edwards. Hopper was dead late. Walt Edwards for the win. Dialed at a 566 and goes 566 with a 3. Dead on with a 3 at 130. 120 for the speed. Walt Edwards, your winner. Mark Hopper, 518 on the 517. He was tardy at the starting line and paid the price. Walt Edwards, your winner tonight. So congratulations to Walt. Congratulations to all of our winners here tonight at Coles County. Don't forget.